Hello again everybody. It's a very long time since I last did any painting, and that's a great shame because I really enjoyed the old painting and missed it a bit. But Chaz has given me his crash helmet and he wants me to paint something on his crash helmet for him. So yeah, let's get on to that. First things first though, the garage is in a bit of a mess and a bit dusty, so I'm not going to get it perfect because, as you know, a lot of different things go on in here, but it needs a bit of a clean up before I start and try and get rid of some of the sawdust and stuff that's hanging around in here. Well, there we go. What can I say? It's better than it was anyway. Now I need something relatively clean to work on as a surface, and I've got this bit of 3mm ply left over from when we cut out the panels for the boxing in for the new diesel heater in the van. I don't know if you remember that little video. Right, let's go get the helmet again. So I've got some ideas how I'm going to paint this helmet, but the first thing is to try and disassemble it. Well, I've had a good look at it and there's really not a great deal obvious that you can take apart. Not like some of these full face helmets with visors and stuff. So I'm pretty much going to leave it as it is. And you can see there is this quite nice neat line around there that I can mask. And basically, I'm going to paint this section and leave this as it is because I think that's a nice, neat way of doing it. So the first thing to do is to give it a bit of a clean with the old silicone remover, just in case it's got like greasy fingerprints or maybe some old polish or something like that on it. So I don't know the history of it. So let's give it a bit of a clean up. So this is what I'm using, my arse colour silicone remover. And I have tried a little tiny bit in a inconspicuous area, and it doesn't seem to have any unpleasant effects on the helmet. So let's go ahead and give it a bit of a clean with that. Right, so now that's done, I'm going to give it a bit of a rub down with the 400 grit paper. I'm going to use it dry, and I'm going to do it by hand. I'm not going to use a machine or anything. I'm going to avoid these areas which I'm not going to paint, and I'm also going to carefully avoid these rivets as well because I don't think I'm going to paint them. So there we go, there is the helmet nicely scuffed up. Didn't really want to go right the way through or anything, just to scuff up the surface to give the new paint a key. Right, I'm going to give it a second clean up with the silicone remover. Right, so that's all cleaned up quite nicely. It still looks scuffed, so that's a good thing. So what I'm going to do now is carefully mask up and trim around the bits that I'm not going to paint. Well, I tell you, well, I think that's masked up adequately. I'm going to give it a coat of primer. I'm going to use aerosol primers. I was thinking about getting the mini spray gun out and the can primer and mixing it all up and stuff, but I am a little bit pushed for time, and I'm not sure really that's much better than the primer that is in these aerosol cans. I had good results with the aerosol cans before, so let's give it a go and see what happens. Right, well, I think that's about it for spraying the primer on. Now that'll have to harden up for 24 hours, so it'll be at least tomorrow afternoon before we can get back on this again. Well, it's 24 hours later, so let's check out and see how that primer's dried. Yeah, that's looking good. There's no sign of any weird reactions or anything like that, which was something I was slightly worried about. But yeah, that looks good. Now I am hoping to get a really nice finish on this, so I'm going to flatten off the primer, but because it's aerosol primer, I'm going to use 800 grit paper and then 1000 grit. And I am going to use it wet. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Well, I think that's now flatted down nicely. And it would be nice to get a base coat on it. But unfortunately, it's a little bit damp outside. It's rained a few times today, and there's a bit of rain in the air. You can just feel a few drops coming down. So yeah, not a great day for spraying, and I've learned my lesson previously with that sort of metal flake panel we did a while back. So yeah, I'm not going to try and spray when there's moisture in the air like this today.